mad now.
Yeah, dude, that doesn't look good. I know what to do. What's that?
You want to get that this meek and humble object will blow our minds.
No kidding. Introducing Spoon Tech, the spoon that enhances the way you taste food.
Oh, shut
Spoon Tech
up.
is a neural
You're a
stimulating
fucking idiot.
spoon.
Shut up.
When you try it,
Pseudoscience
you take a bite of
peddlers.
food, it can make hot food hotter, cold food colder, or
No.
sweet food
No.
sweeter. And unlike other taste amplification technology, it leaves no disgusting aftertaste.
Oh boy, a spoon that makes things taste better.
Shut up and take my money.
Tell everybody at home what you guys are showing off.
So we are the first company in the world to have 3 commercial products that use a mild electric current in the human body for never before seen benefits. Our newest product is called Spoon Tech, which uses a mild current that passes through your food, and as you eat, this light comes on, and that enhances taste and eliminates aftertaste.
That could instantly put all of those cooking shows out of business in the blink of an eye. And it would be so incredible just using some sort of proprietary electrical method, some sort of, I don't know, ion sensory technology.
The built-in ion sensory technology mildly excites the taste buds on your tongue like they've never been stimulated before.
Oh, I don't like it.
The immediate results are enhanced flavour, heightened taste, and improved aftertaste.
And it was premiered at the same tech festival as Morris, the vacuum dryer. So I'm sure this is going to work out just fine. You see, there's a problem here. Passing electricity through liquids like this is a field of science called electrochemistry. Okay, baby. You're ready to see what electricity tastes like. You're ready to see what... Now, if you pass direct current through water, you'll get oxygen on one of the electrodes and hydrogen at the other.
Yeah, and that's why
Meaning
it
that
blows
you
up.
get hydroxide at one electrode and hydronium at the other. Those eventually even out to make water. Cool, so here we have our power supply, which is currently tuned up to about 25 volts. And at 25 volts, you can get some decent spark off these things. I'm not quite sure what's the best way to get that spark. Yeah, there's some sparks. These things will go up to 50 odd volts because it's about the minimum, so that's it on max, it's just over 50 volts, which is the absolute minimum amount you need to sort of kill yourself, although obviously, you know, these are at 50 volts, you can hold them fairly comfortably because skin's pretty insulating stuff like this. And at 50 volts, you'll get some pretty decent sparks off it at 50 volts. But anyway, we're not after that. Even your regular car battery, they're about 12 volts or so. And as anyone who's told the car battery will tell you, even at 12 volts, you'll struggling to pass the current. But you'll get some decent sparks at 12 volts. But in this case, we're interested in what does the electricity taste like. And for this, we're going to want something a lot more pedestrian. In fact, we're going to start off with just electrolyzing some regular, nothing special water, for which we will need the one thing that no science experiment can be done without, the regular, nothing special shot glass. And some nothing special water, like so.
So yeah, if
we're
you
going
rip
in
apart
and
the hydrogen and
volts.
oxygen, is it really even water or is
a
it
couple
just
of
gas
volts.
at that point?
Stuff will happen, but it'll take your time if you want this stuff to happen.
Put salt in, well no, because that'll fuck up the taste test.
Encourage this a little.
Even if it will speed up the reaction.
Two nice and close together.
And
Yeah, you see the gas bubbles.
I don't know which one is the anode and the cathode, but the one on the left is developing ones fast. I'm assuming that's the hydrogen. Yeah, don't touch it.
What does the water taste like at the moment?
It's still, well, all that's left is water.
Tastes like regular water.
Yeah, of
So
course.
what if I actually pass some current through this, which we'll do thusly, by sticking our 2 electrodes in, to the point where I actually see the gas bubble generation. That's
Yeah,
good.
it might taste a little
So we've got
metally,
electrochemistry happening. Now I'm gonna take
but
these
still
out.
I doubt
I'm
it.
gonna taste what the electrodes
Because those
taste
are
but
like
before I do that,
plated
I'm gonna turn the
electrodes. Those aren't
constant
just
off.
regular metal.
So this electrode
It's getting hot though.
tastes like nothing, and this one very, very slightly sweet. But this is with boring water. What happens if
It's not a lead electrode, is it?
operationally insignificant amount of salt to it?
I told you.
So this is
Told you it was
literally
gonna add
a
salt.
pinch of salt
Called it.
added to my, and it's not even all dissolved. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Water generally has very little in the way of ions in it. So what does it taste like with a pinch of salt in a shot glass? This is energy drink levels of saline. It is incredibly weak. So, right now, let's see what a little power does here. And we're just going to put our electrodes in for a couple of seconds, okay? Just long enough for me to see the gas generation, like that. One of my electrodes has a very slight taste of something to it, and the other one, ow, tastes like burning because I forgot to turn the power supply off. Okay, so let's try this again. We'll just dip our electrodes in long enough to get the bubbles coming off, like that. We'll take them out.
Silly butt.
This electrode
What are you doing, silly butt? Oh, I'm gonna get it.
has a very slight taste to it, and the other one tastes significantly of chlorine. It's probably comparable to pool water, is how I would describe it. Meanwhile, a
Well, yeah,
bulk
because
solution
that's what
itself
happens when you rip apart salt.
tastes very slightly different, just very slightly different. I'm not quite even sure how.
So what do we get from that? Firstly, that if this stuff works by electrolyzing your food, the effect is it's going to be operationally insignificant. But even if it does, seeing as one of the ions your food is most likely to contain is chloride, from salt, it'll make your food taste very slightly like pool water. Fortunately, that's actually not how this thing is meant to work. On closer inspection, it's meant to work like this.
There is an electrode on the base of the handle and an electrode in the spoon bowl.
Make contact with the silver active strip on the bottom of the handle, and on the inside of the spoon bowl there's a small silver coloured emitter. Make sure your food completely covers the emitter. As you eat, the LED light will light up to indicate technology is activated.
It only works when the spoon is in your mouth. Seeing as not a lot of people eat with spoons in their mouths, it's probably not going to be so useful. I hate to be a stickler, but people usually use the spoon for shoveling stuff into their mouth. They don't keep the spoon there while they're eating. So the device claims that it works by putting electricity through your body, which might have some interesting effects, seeing as the membranes where your taste receptors are and your nerves are both sensitive
Insane
to
in the
voltage.
membrane.
So any more way to be certain, back
Insane.
to the lab.
Yeah, no
Right, now comes the next interesting thing. The way this thing is actually meant to work is you hold one of the electrodes and you stick the other electrode in your mouth. So here I'm going to do that with just under 2 volts. And not really a lot happening there. No, not a lot. So let's crank this up to something a little more sensible, like 3 volts. This is like an AA battery. And now, there starts to be a very slight stinging on the tongue. Now let's go up to 5 volts. So this is more like a USB type voltage. This is probably the voltage they have on their device, because virtual USB stuff is about 5 volts. Now it definitely, instantly, I think if I do both of these electrodes in the mouth, then this will be a little more spicy, because then you've got a good contact between the two. So 5 volts. Okay, 5 volts is a bit spicy when you've got both of the electrodes in your mouth. Instantly, you do the sort of thing with a 9-volt battery, you stick in a 9-volt battery. Long tongue, instant, pain's not quite the right word, stinging, probably. Not after a while, kind of obvious, really. You do some experimenting, you realise that it matters. It's very obvious in hindsight which electrode you stick in your mouth. You know, because either you're generating a positive potential across a membrane or nerve or something, or a negative one. So when I put this one in my mouth, I get an almost instant sting. With this one, I get almost nothing, which is okay.
Where's my
That's
water?
weird. But it's quite pronounced. There's the red one produces a much bigger stinging sensation than the green one. So let's try this with some actual food, shall we? So let's be really heroic and go all the way up to 10 volts, okay? So 10 volts, and we're going to try some milk, and we're going to try the green electrode first, then the red one, okay? So a little bit of milk, or, you know, just a conducting agent in the mouth.
Yeah? No, thank you. I appreciate it.
So, the weirdest thing ever. I have no explanation for this whatsoever. Right, so when you stick this one in your mouth, I really don't get a lot. But when I take it out, I only just noticed this. When I take it out, there's a salt taste. It only lasts for less than a second, which means it's the response time of the nerves that you're looking at. So weird. When you take this one out, you get a response for a fraction of a second when you take it out of salt. Whereas with this one, it just kind of stings. You know, it's just kind of like sticking a battery on your tongue. That is so freaky. I wouldn't have predicted that ever. So yeah, does it enhance flavors? No.
When you take a bite of food, it can make hot food hotter, cold food colder, or sweet food sweeter.
That's the
and
dumbest shit I've ever
other
heard. That's not how
tasty
senses work.
amplification technology, it leaves no disgusting aftertaste.
So the whole thing is basically bullshit.
That's good. Now let's try it with the enhancing spoon.
Top 5 reasons to switch to Dr. Squatch Soap. 1. Get up to $27 off when you try bundles like Woodseed, Fresh, and Fruit. 2. Get free shipping on orders over $50. Don't even put on pants. 3. Sellout risk is high. Hurry, 300,000 other men have already made the switch. 4. Your old body wash is actually synthetic detergent, like toilet cleaner. 5. Your loofah is a bacteria
How
sponge
is soap
that can
not
cause
synthetic? You
dryness
take
and
it from
acne.
an
Dr.
animal,
Squatch
and then you
exfoliates
change
naturally
it with
without harsh
sodium
chemicals. Start
hydroxide
showering like a man.
into
30-day
soap.
money back guarantee.
How is that
Save
natural?
up to
Number one.
$27
Number
with
two,
bundle.
I guarantee if you ask these fuckers what the difference between a detergent and a soap is, none of them would be able to say, because there is no difference.
I would say that the best thing I can say about my internet service
Marketing
is that I never have to
wank.
worry about it.
You must have Google Fiber. No intermittent hit and miss.
Fucking only an idiot would fall for that. I mean, hey, if you, like, I love Zum soap. Zum soap is awesome. If you just wanted to...
I mean, it tastes the same. But it's just about the way they execute it.
have nice smelling soap that's smooth and good on your skin, good on you. Nothing wrong with that. Don't fucking lie to me about
It's
it.
kind of obvious why. This was low effort even back then.
This spoon is going to enhance the flavour and make you enjoy your meals even more. 12 hours and 55 minutes later. And here's the tech behind it.
Yeah, and even with the quality production like that, they still managed to get people to give them $40,000.
It is an amazing, amazing innovation. We are so excited that you're going to support us on Indiegogo.
Utilized on many occasions, noticed no improvement in flavor, perhaps even in lessening. Nice light, waste of money, at least not too expensive. Cheerio, to which the project owner replies, Happy holidays, Bernard. We were wondering if you ever tried SpoonTech with plain yogurt or any low sugar yogurt. Interesting thing to suggest. Okay, what else we got? Catherine, no reply, no emails. When asked for a replacement, my spoon came, never worked, no light goes on. Just an expensive plastic spoon. Please don't buy this, you will lose your money and have no recourse. Learn from me. But they sell it on Amazon, right? I mean, just look at all those claims. I'm sure the reviews will back it up 100%. So what we got did not work as claimed. Bought 3 of them, none of them did anything close to the manufacturer's claims. 2 people tried them, all 3 spoons, and they came to the same conclusion I did, which is the spoons were outfitted with LED lights, which basically don't do anything.
How do we do this? Well, we do it through sophisticated electronics in the handle.
That don't actually exist. It's just all a grift.
The human body power SpoonTech.
Review 2, no effect. Review 3, flashy lights, 1 star.
I see lights.
This gets much worse.
Hi, I'm Cameron Davido, co-founder of SpoonTech, based
Oh hey, whoever came by, what's up?
Energy levels just
Watching debunking
I come
videos.
from a family of product developers. Just over 20 years ago, my father and grandfather introduced the spoon-in-the-lid packaging innovation for Colombo yogurt by General Mills.
Yeah, nothing more environmentally friendly than putting a disposable plastic spoon in every single yogurt you sell.
Now this nifty invention, featured on hundreds of millions of yogurt cups,
It has built-in electronics, which is a first for an eating utensil, and that little bit of current in the electric human body is incredible what it can do.
Oh, you said
We know that because we also
what?
And iGenius uses a
Plastic
technology that pulls plaque bacteria out of the mouth.
Yeah, that's 100% bullshit.
That's done through a mild electric current passing through your arm as you brush, and it pushes the plaque out and gives you a clean like you've never experienced before.
Bullshit!
Our third product is called Lip.
Plastic
and it
is an
a
insulator.
Transcranial direct current stimulation
It doesn't make any sense. Even if those things could happen and they were true, a plastic spoon wouldn't be able to do it. But they're not true, by the way.
Frontal cortex.
No.
And what that does is it gives you a small boost of energy, just like you would get from a cup of coffee.
So let me see if I got this straight. A small electric current makes food taste hotter or colder?
SpoonTech's unique technology combines the human body's energy, advanced electronics.
It's an insulator. It can't. Your body doesn't leak energy. The only energy your body leaks that I know of is infrared.
And when you put it on board a rather sophisticated biocomputer,
If you were leaking
any of the gazillions of necessarily dormant nerves responsible for.
If you were leaking electrons, your body wouldn't be very efficient and it'd probably die because it needs those to run.
Of neurons, most are dormant.
Dormant? I bet that dumbass thinks you only use 10% of your brain, too.
Yes, billions of unstimulated nerves. But for some unexplained reason, it has the same effect as a cup of coffee.
Is it gives you
Yeah.
a small boost of energy just like you would get from a cup of coffee.
Next up is
Unless it physically shocks you, I don't believe that.
Hi, sharks.
I can prove to you that works. But not because you're getting extra electrons in there, because your brain has specific things in there. Your synapses allow, see, certain things like GABA, your GABA receptors. See, what happens is when you take drugs like Xanax or gabapentin, anything that goes to your GABA receptors or any precursors that make GABA that go to your GABA receptors, what they do is they allow negative ions to travel through the gap. Negative ions going through the gap means less action potential. Positive ions going through that gap, which things like amphetamines or cocaine or other stimulants, caffeine, those allow for positive ions to go through the synapsial gap and into the synapse, and those create action potential. That's why you get excited, because you have a lot of action potential and you got to get rid of that extra energy. But when it's the opposite, when it's like GABA, those inhibit, they allow negatively charged ions to go through, and they inhibit action potential, making you more tired, or in severe cases of overdose, not even letting you breathe. So until your lungs fill up with blood or your heart stops. So whatever this is bullshit. It's whatever they say is so fucking pathetic. Science illiteracy is going to destroy this world. In fact, it was science illiteracy that allowed Truman to drop the bomb on. The only reason Einstein forced them to make a nuclear weapon is because he wanted them to get one before Germany does, because he knew once we had one, hopefully we would never have to use it, because the sheer force and the understanding of physics should have been enough to keep anyone from using it. But both teams, Nazis and Americans, and I don't even know if Russians were in the race yet for atomic energy, they ignored them. They ignored the laws of relativity, and they said there's no way it can be that powerful, even though they're using the laws of relativity to make it work. But the problem is that Einstein threatened the American government, and he said, look, if you do not make this bomb, I'm going to publish my paper, my scientific paper with all the theories in it to show that it should be possible. And if that gets in the hands of wrong people, they will make the bomb, and then they will have it and you won't, and then the war will be over. And we will all be speaking German. And so the government made the Manhattan Project, which allowed them to start making the nuclear weapons. And boy, were they almost as powerful as the yield expected. And it's scary. And Einstein didn't want that, but he damn sure didn't want the Germans to have it, because they'd probably destroy most of the earth if they had the ability to, even though at that time it was so hard to make them. Those, I think, were the only two working bombs we had. and it would take us months to make more. But anyway, not anymore. But anyways, tangent. Let's just get back to these fucking. I hate people who peddle pseudoscience as the real thing, and then they confuse people, making people think that solar roadways is possible and the next big thing when it's not, and it's incredibly inconvenient, and it's a horrible idea. It just and then they're scamming money from people for a charity to help us make solar roadways when they know solar roadways won't work and they're just pocketing the money.
Pain in any part of your
Scum.
Various levels of severity.
Oh, this is a notice to all sharks. Warnings for lifted neurostimulation.
Lifted utilizes a process called transcranial direct current stimulation.
Read along.
You mean
That
electroshock?
when stimulated has been shown to increase focus, attention, and memory.
You mean electroshock?
I tried. Do not use if you have any electronic implanted medical device, a metal plate in the brain, or head, a pacemaker, or defibrillator.
Designed by a world-class neuroscience team. Lifted is easy
Oh,
to use,
shut up.
lightweight, stylish.
Neuroscientists can sell out
Do not use
just
if you
as
have
easy
epilepsy,
as anyone
seizures,
else.
brain lesions, or severe heart disease.
Get focused and get lifted.
Do not use if you have sensitive skin or a rash, broken skin, or open wounds such as sores, cuts, or pimples.
Right. Sharks, nowadays, everyone is searching for ways to increase productivity, focus, and performance.
Do not use while driving, drinking, operating, or machinery, or any situation where you may be impaired.
These chemical stimulants raise the heart rate and travel through the entire body. But
Chemical
only a small bit of
stimulants,
the
what?
stimulant makes its way to the brain.
Has no medical benefit and is not intended to prevent or treat any medical condition.
What if there were a smarter way to get a similar boost of energy using a new emerging technology? We're not making any medical
What?
claims.
It's not new.
Where point is, Mark, this
If
is
it has no medical benefit, what's
Mark,
the point?
Also, when I was in college, I sold solar hats on the streets of D.C.
Why?
I introduced General Mills to the two-piece spoon in the lid that was on Colombo yogurt, if you remember that.
Yeah, sometimes the rabbit hole is long and deep, but hey, it's nice to take a break from the mask and look at something literally 1,000,000 times smaller. You know, $40,000 versus $40 billion. Yeah, I know if I base my time on who would scam the most money, then this channel would be entirely dedicated to busting masks. But this was fun, and that was today's video. And if you enjoyed watching it, maybe drop a thumbs up and consider subscribing so you don't miss out on more content like this. And as ever, if you really enjoyed this video and want to support this channel directly, you can do it through Patreon. Thanks for watching.
Dude, I hate scientific scammers, pseudoscience bitch-ass motherfuckers.
Stamp your W-2 and file Fed and state for free. Simple tax returns only. See if you want.
Hey everyone, today we're going to be making an engine with sound. Now when you blow air over this test tube at just the right speed, you can get it to make a whistle sound. This is happening because the air goes into the tube with some momentum and causes the tube pressure to rise past atmospheric pressure until it stops rising and then pushes it back out of the tube. Then this repeats again. And if you can get these pressure waves of air moving in and out of the resonant frequency of the tube, then this repeating pressure wave gets amplified. You can get resonance when the length of the tube is a quarter of the wavelength of the sound wave you're producing. But you can also get resonance when it's some multiple of that as well. It just sounds higher pitched, like this. So in this case, we made sound by causing the air to squish together and then spread apart by forcing air into the tube. But there's another cooler way to do this. Remember when you heat up a gas, it expands, and then when you cool it, it contracts. So if you could just heat and then cool a gas at the right frequency, then you can make sound from heat. I have a same size test tube here that I've stuck some steel wool in, and then I put some wet paper towel near the steel wool on the outside. Now watch what happens when I heat this end up. There it goes. Makes an extremely loud sound. Holy cow, it's deafening.
That's insane.
Near the tube here, that I cool it, it contracts. So if you could just heat and then cool a gas at the right frequency, then you could cool air to squish together and then spread apart by forcing air into the tube. But there's another cooler way to do this. Remember when you heat up a gas, it expands, and then when you cool it, it contracts. So if you could just heat and then cool a gas at the right frequency, then you can make sound from heat. I have a same size test tube here that I've stuck some steel wool in, and then I put some
Hey,
wet
whoever
paper towel
came,
near the steel
appreciate
wool on the
you.
outside.
Let me know if you want to watch
Now
something
watch what
other than
happens when I
science
heat this end up.
videos.
There it goes. Makes an extremely loud sound. Holy cow, it's deafening.
I can't get enough of science videos. Hey, Obs.
So once you've gotten this side hot enough, you can even move the flame out of the way, turn it any direction, and it still glows.
He's making crack inside of
So
his
this end
crack
is cooler to
pipe.
the touch, while this
That
side
way
is
it's all
hundreds of degrees.
self-contained, and at the end all he has to do is take a big fat rip.
This is 88 decibels. It's so loud.
That way it's not so
right
messy
where the
when you
steel
make
wool
your
is,
crack.
There's a sharp decrease in temperature. The steel wool makes it so that there's a good contact with the gas through the entire cross-section of the tube, and not just near the edges. So why does this make a sound? Well, when we heat one side of the tube, it expands the gas. But then as that hot gas moves toward the cooler end of the tube, it contracts and moves back towards the hot end of the tube. Then it heats up again, and the
It's
whole
always
process
cheaper
starts
to
over.
make your own
So you
crack
get
if you
pressure
buy
waves
coke
moving
and
at
then make
regular
it in
intervals
crack
in
than
the
if you
tube.
just buy crack
If you
rocks.
can put this temperature gradient at just the right spot, then it resonates at the most unstable acoustic mode for this specific tube.
Sorry.
So we can make sound just
That's
by
not at
heating
all
the
what we're
tube.
watching.
But how do you
He's
turn this into
making,
an
you know
engine?
how when you blow over a bottle, I don't have a bottle. I wonder if I could use a pill bottle. Yeah, it won't work. You know when you blow over a bottle and it makes a noise? He's explaining how. It's not the most interesting one. Let me go to... self-contained crack pipe. Yeah, I'm obsessed with science YouTube. That's why I get angry, like in group, people try to argue with me and shit. They call me, when I go to group, they call me Google. Like, I think more people call me Google than my actual name. Yeah, it's like a disposable thing. You just like, it's like those vials that you break inside of something and then the vials mix, like kind of like a hand warmer, and they get warm. It's like that. You break the separating vial, and the coke and the rest of the shit comes together and forms, and you put heat on it and it turns into crack, and then it's ready for you to heat it and smoke it. No, he's explaining why the differential pressure systems that you cause when you blow over the lid of a glass, why it makes it make noise. I got this, I got my medical marijuana card renewed today, and I was having problems with it, and I texted the hotline, didn't give them my number or nothing. I just texted them saying I'm having problems renewing my card. And then almost immediately they got back to me and said, "Hi Cody, what can I help you with?" And then I told them, and then after everything was done, said and done with, I was like, how'd they know my name? Oh no, that's fine, Aubrey. I was like, how'd they know my name? So I texted her back, and I said, hey, I didn't know it was a her at the time. I texted her back, and I said, hey, I'm sorry if this is rude, but are you a robot, or are you a person just sitting at a computer that my name was saved into? Yep, we'd chat. So I texted her that, and oh shit, it is 420. I said, are you a robot, or are you just a person sitting at a computer where my name was saved in? And she said, I assure you I'm a she said, I assure you I'm a real person. My name is Wendy. And I texted her, I said, okay, well, have a nice, I said, if you are real, have a nice day, Wendy. If you are a robot, I'm sorry that they programmed you to make you think you were a human. And she texted me back. Yeah, as soon as I said Aubrey, I was like, wait, is that even her name? Because it says it's just Obs. No, my name's not on caller ID, I don't think. It might be. Shit, I don't know. Yeah, I was calling like a 800 number or something. So anyways, she goes, I assure you I'm a person. My name is Wendy. And then I said that. I said, well, I hope you have a good day, Wendy. If you're a robot, I'm sorry they programmed you to think you were a person. And then she texted me back. She said, this seriously made my day. Thank you so much. Man, I should have left my braid in for longer. I think I'm going to re-braid it. I think I might braid both sides. When I braid my hair and leave it in for a while, it makes my hair all wavy. Okay, so let's watch some science videos. No Sheba, not right now. We've been playing all day. Hey, stay out of it. Oh, you're just getting your toy. This is a cool flame. Or a cool engine.
Guys, always on the go, always traveling.
Shut
I
up.
know what it feels like to struggle to be able to eat.
This is called a
I've been
flame
thinking
liquor
about
engine.
ordering
Some
that
people
though,
call
because
it
I
a
don't
vacuum
eat.
engine
I have
or
a
even an
problem with
atmospheric
eating. I
engine.
only eat
It's one
every
of the
couple of
simplest
days
engines
at
ever
most.
created. So you have a flame
Like
burning
usually
near the
every 3
inlet, like this
days.
candle here. You need an initial pump to start it, and then it sucks in the hot gases from the candle into the chamber. These hot gases then cool down, which causes a decrease in pressure inside the piston, and so the atmosphere actually pushes on the piston from the outside, causing it to shrink in volume. So there's a force from the atmosphere on the piston pushing it back. Then the momentum of the piston expels the cold gas out,
both.
and then sucks in the hot gas again.
My
and
hair is
continues
not
the
really
cycle.
long enough to braid yet.
When you watch it working in slow motion,
Like
it's
my
no wonder that they
bangs,
call it the flame eater. It
I wouldn't
literally
even
sucks in
consider
the
this
flame
long
and
hair. I
then breathes
consider
it
it
out.
medium.
Each
I guess
breath that
it
takes is
barely
one touch
touches
of the
my
cylinder on the
chin
back.
if I pull
So when
on
this
it.
flywheel turns, it pushes the piston into the cylinder there. And that opens and closes this valve.
It
on
might
the
not
end
look
here.
like it, but
So
that
when the
is
cylinder
touching
all the
my
way in at the
chin. It's
lowest
just my
volume, the
beard that
valve is
makes my
open.
chin look
But
deeper.
then when the cylinder moves to the back, the valve is closed. Since the atmosphere is actually pushing the piston, these engines are sometimes called atmospheric engines. So I just light this little candle here and give it a spin. Because the engine works from the fact that hot gases cool in the piston, if your piston is too cold to begin with, then the gases cool down too soon and it won't start at all. So before you start, you have to heat up the whole thing, so you have to put the candle under the piston or just really close to it till it'll warm up, and then it can start. Whoa, it's really going now, so fast. The sparks flying out of the end there. In the 1930s, this engine was patented and over 11,000 of them were sold. The manufacturers had big plans for these engines. In a pamphlet that came with the motor, it read, "Within a few years, thousands, nay millions of horsepower will be drawn daily from the atmosphere at negligible cost by rotors ranging in size from 1 to 10 horsepower."
Negligible financial cost, but not negligible environmental
to develop
cost.
into the greatest labor-saving machine of the 20th century. So they definitely thought this engine was going to be very useful. So what happened to it? Why isn't the flame liquor or the flame eater used today?
Well, right now I'm
Well,
just
there are a few
making
reasons
small
that may seem
braids
obvious
in
once you look at how
my
this works.
bangs,
The first
just
thing is that notice where
right here
most
in
of our
my
heat's going.
bangs.
just up into the
When
air.
my
and
hair
wasted
gets
into the
long
room.
enough, I
Only a
like to have the
small
girls
fraction
at
of
the
heat is actually
salon
used to
braid
do
it
work.
into one big
And also, since
braid.
the work is derived from atmospheric pressure, the maximum pressure delta you can work with is only 1 atmosphere. In an internal combustion engine, you can get as high
Yeah, I
as 65
should
atmospheres
try
in
that.
some With only 1 atmosphere.
So is your
usually
name
it's
not
only
Aubrey,
enough
if
to
you don't
power the
mind me
motor
asking?
itself,
Is it,
and they
you
can only
just go
drive
by
their own
Obs?
mechanisms, not much more. So they can only get to around 900 RPM. So even though these didn't end up to be very useful engines, they work great in showing how simple an engine can be, and also how a piston can work with pressure changes. But out of all of the engines I know, this one definitely has the coolest name, Flame Eater or Flame Licker. Whoa, holy cow. And thanks for watching another episode of the Action Lab. I hope you learned something today. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, consider subscribing, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, let's watch a Vsauce vid. Oh, actually, he just put this up. Oh, what are you talking about? Are you not going a little too far with this clickbait? I understood his last one, but come on, Pete. Did it really?
So Mr. Beast did not cure this blind guy. In fact, Mr. Beast's video about curing blindness cost this blind guy $1,000. But I'm actually happy about it. But first, for all the people who came at me in my last video saying Mr. Beast never said he cured blindness, you're wrong. But you're also right. You're wrong because he said it.
In this video, we're curing 1,000 people's blindness.
But you were actually right, because for the people that went to go on to watch the whole video saw that Mr. Beast was explaining he was paying for cataract surgery and not actually curing all blindness. However, for all the people that were going nuts on me in my last video, screaming at me saying, bro, nobody thinks Mr. Beast cured blindness. You're an idiot.
True.
Well, let's cue my comment section. Mr. Beast is curing blindness. Mr. Beast cured the blind. These people obviously think he cured blindness. Why did Mr. Beast not cure your blindness? You prob didn't want it. Yeah, I love being blind. It's awesome. He should be in Mr. Beast mode and not be blind. Yeah, Jimmy hates me. He has a cure but didn't want to share it with me. You know Mr. Beast cured 100,000 people's blindness.
100.
The misinformation is running rampant, and my contention was, with that much misinformation out there, it was going to hamper the fundraising efforts for curing actual retinal and macular blindness. If everybody thinks it's cured, why would you donate to research? And why does this type of research need so much funding right now? The year is 2023. We're talking about colonizing Mars. They have chips that allow people to control their prosthetic limbs and computers with their thoughts. And what, at this peak of human civilization and technology, are we giving to people with retinal and macular blindness to cope with their disability? It's amazing. It's incredible. It's a stick. They give us a stick and tell us to swing it around and hope we don't smash into anything. And mine keeps breaking. Well, I broke my lightsaber.
That's actually a couple more steps to see now.
Wait, it's got a little bend. It's supposed to not bend. Now, for the people who said I was piling on.
To be fair, that last clip, he did try to use it like a superhero and swing it into a trash can.
Of what he did. This is great. This is amazing. It's life-changing. He dramatically improved the lives of 1,000 people, and it's because he's a ridiculously generous guy. In fact, he has set an example for me, and I would also like to be as generous as I possibly can. The Blind Surfer Foundation was formed last year in memory of my service dog, Superdog. And just this past week, I changed the mission statement of this 501c3 charity to be helping to find a cure for blindness. Now, to kick things off, I'm going to donate every penny I've generated from my reaction video to Mr. Beast video, and at the moment I'm filming this, there are 502.2 thousand views.
Estimated revenue, $1,000. Previous day
The estimated revenue
No,
is
it's not
$1,000.
powerful
I'm
enough
donate
for that.
$1,000 to the Blind Surfer Foundation. And what me and the board are going to do is identify all the top research
So it is
facilities and
Aubrey.
hospitals that are working on curing general blindness and help to fund their top projects. Maybe they're working on gene therapy, stem cells, transplants, or something we haven't even thought of yet. You can donate at blindsurferfoundation.com. If you can't afford to donate, you can still help the cause by liking, sharing, and commenting on this video to make sure other people see it. Let's find a real cure for blindness. The one drawback, of course, is that I have to change the name of my channel. Maybe instead of Blind Surfer, I'll become like Race Car Driver. If I were sitting here in the driver's seat and I held my cane out, does it reach the front of the car? Is it further in the front?
I mean, kind of. Just about there.
I get a 1 second warning.
You just crushed the entire first 2 feet before you got to find out what you hit.
Okay, probably not race car driver, but hit up blindsurferfoundation.com and thanks for your support.
Yeah, okay, see, he came out with the video kind of criticizing a lot of stuff that Mr. Beast did. This is something that I couldn't believe nobody said anything about this. I haven't seen the video yet. I'm gonna look it up.
In this video, we're curing 1,000 people's blindness. It's gonna be crazy.
Most of us see the world like this. But here's the thing, 200 million people see the world like this. What does this say?
You just want to
read it.
No, it's an E or something, I think.
He won't know he won 10 grand until after him and his family's
money to give back. I'll just see after it.
Trust me, you will see. When patients,
That,
you're gonna be real.
I knew it was that guy because I remember this shit. This is before the operation.
You're gonna be really happy after this surgery.
We'll see after it.
Trust me, you will see. When patients go in.
That. Trust me, you will see. I thought that was the most fucked up part of the video. That's why I remember the guy that he was wearing the red shirt. He said it to him. Because that blew my mind. Like, dude, I know it's a super easy, less than 10-minute surgery. But don't promise the dude he's going to be able to see again before the surgery. That's fucked up. Trust me, you will be able to see. Like, right after he said, well, we'll see what happens after the surgery, he just goes, no, trust me, you'll see. That just seems like irresponsible. It seems like no doctor would ever be like, You want to, I'll show you some other really cool engines. That. Trust me, you will see. I thought that was the most fucked up part of the video. That's why I remember the guy that he was wearing the red shirt. Why is my shit coming through here? Another problem with a lot of these is scale. In fact, if you want to get down to it, the LHC is an engine. It turns on and off magnetic electromagnets making particles fly forward close to the speed of sound until they ram into each other, and when they finally ram into each other, if it's under one of the sensors pick up everything, and we can find new particles that we have never found or that we had only theorized existed.
Useful work gets wasted as heat. So what could we do about this problem? Well, this is a problem Nikola Tesla set out to solve in 1913 with the patent of the Tesla turbine. The Tesla turbine was unlike any turbine that had ever been produced before. Instead of having blades that the fluid would push against to turn the rotor, he completely removed the blades and had only discs that moved with the fluid. For example, I have a DVD here. Watch what happens when I blow air along the DVD. The disc begins to rotate because of the air moving along the top surface. Whenever fluid moves by a surface, something happens called the no-slip condition. This means that there's a layer of fluid that sticks to the surface of the material. Then there's another layer on top of that that's moving slightly faster, then another layer on top of that that moves a little bit faster. These layers stack up with slightly increasing velocity until the bulk fluid velocity is reached. So you start out at 0 on the surface and then you reach the bulk fluid velocity. The disk is spinning because the momentum of the air that gets stuck in the boundary layer is transferred to the disk. Now the nice thing about causing a disk to spin like this is there's very little wasted energy because the fluid isn't swirling all over the place, rubbing against each other, creating heat. Especially if the fluid and the disk are moving at close to the same speed. Then the fluid can be in laminar flow and there's no turbulence to heat the fluid up.
Yeah,
So
but
we know
to
this
see, the
seems like
one
a good
thing I
design
think
so
about,
far, but
Aubrey,
notice
is
how the fluid's
that
only in contact with the disk for a short period
even
of
if
time
it is
at the
a
top
little
of the
bit of
disk.
some
In
annoying
order to
ass
extract more
clickbait,
energy from
he
it,
is
the
using the
main
money for a
outlet
good
isn't just right
cause. He
here,
knows
but it's
how
at
to
the
work
center
the
of the disk, so the
system.
fluid has to travel around the
And
disk
any
in a curved
intelligent
path,
person
and then
knows
leaves
he's
out the
not
center.
carrying blindness.
So the
But
disk
I
would
think
look
he
something
can do a
like
better
this.
job
And we could put it in a housing that would force the fluid to leave through the center. Then we could just add a bunch more discs with a little space between them that's large enough for the fluid boundary layer to form. Now you have the Tesla turbine. So the air comes in here and goes around the tubes and gets forced
Because
out
for
the center
things
here.
like that, he has the opportunity
So
to
in the
become
end, the air is
science
forced to come out
educator
the
in that
center hole
field.
here. I'm going to flow air through it now, but I could also flow water through it technically.
But instead,
On
he
the
just
rotor here, I
plays the
put a little shiny
clickbait
sticker
game,
so
and
I
it
can
gets
shine my
old, but
tachometer on it to
it
see
makes
how fast
money,
it's
and
actually
he,
spinning.
as far as I know, he doesn't abuse his money, his wealth and power.
The glare here blocked the reading, but it averaged out at around 3,500 RPM.
That was funny when
Now, technically,
Ethan
if you're in
had
laminar flow with the
Tana
Tesla
and
turbine,
Jeff
you can
on,
reach up to 95%
and on the
efficiency.
Steamies,
Tesla actually
and
built several
Tana
versions
was
of
like,
this
yeah,
with the largest
somehow I
turbine,
won the
15
award
discs
over
with 60
Mr.
inch
Beast,
diameter.
who
It
that
could spin at
year
3,600 RPM
either
and generate
planted a million
670
trees or
watts
donate
horsepower.
or cleaned up a
So
million
what's the
pounds
deal?
out of
Why
the
are we
ocean,
using
something
Tesla
like
turbines
that.
everywhere?
She's like,
Well,
yeah,
there are
and
some
I won
problems with it.
somehow.
In order for the
And she was
turbine to
like,
reach
she
this
felt bad
efficiency,
about
the discs
it
need to be
and
moving
shit.
at about
She's
the
like,
speed
that's
of
how
the
I know
fluid
they're
moving
fake.
across them in order to be laminar flow. If it isn't laminar flow, then the efficiency is greatly reduced. So that means that the discs need to be spinning extremely
Laminar
fast,
flow is
or you have to
awesome.
increase the number of discs and decrease the spacing between them. And not only that, any minor imperfections in the disc or around the edges makes the fluid become turbulent, and the efficiency is also greatly decreased. And even if it were perfectly machined, you still get losses when you apply a load to the turbine because it slows the disc down, and when you change the
Hey, it's me, Destin. Welcome back to Smarter Every Day. I love laminar flow, and people send me tweets about laminar flow all over the internet. It's
He's
time to do the
obsessed
laminar
with
flow
it.
video. Check this out. Big pool. We're gonna see if we can make laminar flow happen. I should be able to poke a hole in this pool and get a glassy looking jet that comes out this pool. That's what laminar flow is. It's very orderly, looks like glass. Okay, so here we go. Ready? 3, 2, this feels so wrong. Let's see if we got laminar flow. No, we don't. We don't. Now I've got a hole in a pool. Okay, laminar flow is a function of geometry. Obviously, I had the wrong geometry. We're gonna try a big spike. Here we go. Oh, golly. Okay. All right. No, it doesn't work. So my shape's not right. My shape's not right. What do I do? Work with me. Ah, there we go. Okay, so I've got laminar flow right here, and it's going turbulent right here. Why? Laminar flow is a function of the geometry, the velocity, and the kinematic viscosity of the fluid that you're working with. Right now, my velocity is not fast enough to have laminar flow because there's not enough pressure. So if I move it down, I should have more pressure. So let's plug this back up. Well, now I have a problem. Okay, that's out. I'm doing a bad job of explaining laminar flow. What we need to do is we need to go around the world to different places I've observed laminar flow in the past several years, and we need to let me show you various things that I've seen along the way. Laminar flow is orderly. All streamlines are parallel, and there's no mixing of the flow. It's all like how you would imagine water flowing through a pipe. Everything is straight and parallel. Turbulent flow, however, is chaotic. There's pressure fluctuations throughout. You get the idea. Engineers have this special term called the Reynolds number to try to help predict what type of flow they might be dealing with. The top of the equation are things that describe the flow itself, like the velocity, the density, the geometry, etc. etc. But the bottom of the equation is the viscosity of the fluid, like how thick the fluid is, like water versus honey. A low Reynolds number means that the flow is more laminar, and in my opinion, more awesome. But a high Reynolds number means that it's more turbulent. So if you look at the equation, you can kind of see what's going on here. If you have more viscosity, that means Reynolds number gets smaller, therefore the flow is more laminar. But if you increase the velocity of the flow or the size of the flow, Reynolds number gets bigger, therefore you have more
I don't know if you were there. We watched his channel. He was allowed to go see where the moon rocks are. He went in and saw almost all the moon rocks that we have.
With the Saturn V. This is the
sure
big
Russia
Saturn
probably
V right
has
here.
some too.
But in order to approximate what was going to happen, they made a wind tunnel model. You can use wind tunnel models like this little 4-inch model to approximate the flow over the entire Saturn V rocket. As flow comes through here,
I don't know who else has been to the moon.
If the string flickers, it's turbulent flow. If it's steady, it's laminar flow. Check this out. So as we change the angle of attack, you can see the different types of flow take place. It's a little hard to see it with just the streams, but Sarah Kate, who goes to school with my daughter, made an awesome science fair project. You got to see this. Okay, to demonstrate laminar flow and turbulent flow, this is Sarah Kate, science fair winner extraordinaire, right? Yes, sir. You gonna show us how it works? So NASA Glenn Research Centers, and you just built it for the plans.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
I had friends.
Let me know if you can hear the background.
Frankincense? Dragon's blood? That's pretty legit. Ooh, orange. That's gotta be good. Golly, that's a weird smell.
Okay, now I'll blow them out.
Okay, and so that's gonna make the smoke come through this pipe right here, right?
Yep. Now I'll turn it down.
So, gotta get the light correct, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that's pulling it through. Should we be able to see it yet?
Yeah, you can already see it.
You can already see. Oh, what the heck? You sure can. Look at that.
Just because the United States was the first to go to the moon doesn't mean no one else tried it.
So, laminar flow are the straight lines that go across, correct?
Yeah, laminar flow is awesome. You can do it with air too. Oh, that's the reason I mentioned the moon rocks, is because there's a laminar flow that gets all the dust and dirt off of you, of gas, that comes around you and fully, completely cleans you.
Is this like the coolest science fair project you ever done?
And then you're allowed to step into the moon with moon rock, or the room with moon rocks. And this is after you've already been super geared up.
Basically, I was just trying to learn more about airfoil shapes and flow.
And apparently one astronaut took his helmet off when he still had some moon dust in his equipment, and he inhaled it and had an anaphylactic reaction.
That's a really good angle.
Like his nose and throat started swelling up. Like that must have been terrifying.
If you've ever been to the Detroit airport, there's an awesome fountain, like right in the middle.
I don't know if they would have even had an EpiPen. I hope they would have, but I don't know.
It's the awesomest fountain. Let's go look at it. What do you?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering too.
Right there. What's it called?
Missions to the moon have been conducted by the following nations and entities in chronological order.
Yeah? You don't appreciate this.
The Soviet Union, why are they in front of
You just don't
us?
appreciate what you don't appreciate laminar flow. Let's go.
Well, I'm sure they sent people there that didn't make it, sadly, or did make it and never came back, so they didn't report it. The Soviet Union, the United States, Japan, the European Space Agency, China, India, Luxembourg, Israel, Italy, and South Korea?
Once you get all the flow going in one direction, you can divert the laminar flow and the streamlines stay in the same orientation. So look, you can start to make things like sheets. You see that? Look at that. It's working.
Wait, have robots. That's not what I want to type in.
Okay, look at this. So if you get all the laminar flow going in one direction, you can put things that, look at that, it made a bubble.
So yeah, China brought some back.
It's like a sphere of laminar flow. Okay, so there's a really cool children's museum in
So China, Russia, and us. We're the only ones that have moon rocks.
I could put my hand in there.
I don't know if they took as much discretion as we did.
This is probably my favorite kind of fountain. And the cool thing about it is,
If you want, we can watch his video on moon rocks.
it's glassy, like you have enough flow to make a complete covering, but it's not too high where you go.
No, see, that's what I always thought too, Obs, but I wouldn't. Because I told you that astronaut got and had an anaphylactic reaction just for getting some of it in his mucal membranes in his nose. And I don't know if...
I'm going to put the phone in there, and we're going to see if we can see through the laminar flow. Let's see if it's smooth enough. Okay, you ready?
What's that shot epinephrine? I don't know if that would help you in that situation. Benadryl or an EpiPen, I don't think would help in that situation.
That works, doesn't it? So the next question is, can you hear me? So it's totally engulfed with water. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but the microphone's probably full of water at this point. Let's try this. Can you hear me better now? I like this a lot.
His kids are like, Dad, these exhibits are for the children. Dude, I love Science City and all that stuff. I haven't been in decades, but...
When you're like 30-something years old, you have to wait for the 2-year-olds so you can do your little fluid experiment. I love laminar flow, and I want you to love it too. Prince Rupert, you're in my life. Move. Thank you. Okay.
Those were always my favorite field trips.
What's so neat here is if you think about the volumetric flow rate, if it's not enough, you don't have water go all the way to the bottom. You see how it's breaking up here? But if you control all of these variables perfectly, you can make a fountain do exactly what you want. This is beautiful. I really respect people that design fountains like this because it has to do with flow rate, has to do with all pressure, the nozzle geometry, anything can disturb the flow.
It's amazing. Watch, touch it. Where? Yeah, touch it, touch it.
Are we allowed to touch this?
Or doing it.
Well, we're doing it.
I don't feel seen. Oh my God, Mom, you got
No, keeping my eyes
I wonder what happened if you mainline it. Obs, are you an actual... sorry if this is a personal question, but are you an actual mainline user?
All in one place. Find 24/7 support on the subjects you want to focus
Yeah,
on.
dude, I love rocks too.
Special study guides on your schedule and tailored to your courses.
I haven't... See, I haven't shot up in a really long time, but if you shoot up foreign particles into your blood, you get what's known as cotton fever, and it's because they used to think it was from using cotton that had bacteria in it, which could technically happen or be true, but that's not what it is. It's when you get foreign particles in your blood and all of your white cells immediately start attacking everything. It's the most you get sick as fuck. It's the most painful thing that you could probably experience other than withdrawals. It actually does feel like it says you had immediate withdrawals. So I would definitely not recommend that. I might eat some, but that's probably still really fucking bad for you. I don't know if but I do eat rocks sometimes.
This mall in Chicago wins for the coolest fountain. And probably the #1 reason why I want you to love laminar flow, and this is not an exaggeration, we literally use laminar flow to protect the integrity of the moonrise, and that is not an exaggeration. So I'm about to show you a clip of how that works, and if you would like to consider subscribing to Smarter Every Day while you watch this is from a future episode.
That's what I was talking about! What the fuck?
You have no idea how much. You have no idea how much I like laminar flow. You don't even know. I can't explain it to you. You really like it. I do. So here we go. Okay, here we go.
That's blowing my mind, that coincidence. I feel like I'm tripping.
It's just really slow laminar flow.
out that
Yeah, me too.
actually would make your hair flow. They found out that stirred up more particles. So
Yeah, went to the moon.
Lemon are good.
Well, you can prove it. They have, I guess they could have done that with unmanned drones.
Am I quite done? So watch your step down.
I'm watching it. Boom. Wow. All right. Okay.
Congratulations.
I'm going to do what's called the salt cell.
I'm 5 years sober too. From
I like
opiates.
exploring the world using goofy stuff like this, and I film stuff all over the world, and I throw it together in videos like
I obviously
this.
smoke
If you would like
weed.
to consider subscribing to Smarter every day, it's basically a declaration for your love of laminar flow and low Reynolds numbers. That's pretty much what it is at this point. So,
Well, I
if you
should
would
say
like to do
illicit
that, you may
opiates. That's what I should
subscribe
say.
if you like this video.
I had opiates when I went and had my surgery.
So, that's
But I'm also on methadone, so I can't get high. And I kept telling them, and it was that I was on a blocker, but they kept trying to give me opiates anyways. And
I hope you enjoy that too. Have a good one.
it wouldn't work because I'm on a fucking blocker. So it sucked, but that's my penance for being an addict.
And eat around the table together as a family. They send food to your house, and you can just cook.
Yeah, I've been drinking probably like over a year.
It's a great thing. The reason we like it is because it makes everything simple in how we do life in the evenings, and it lets us eat yummy food. How do you know when they're done?
If you've ever smoked anything, did you know smoking something because of the amount of blood that go into your... I looked this up. I think it's alveoli.
Use the promo code SMARTER80 for the new year. They have a special where you can get 8 free meals.
I looked it up and now I can't
$50 off your
remember.
First month of HelloFresh. Do that by going to HelloFresh.com. Use the promo code SMARTER80. Come look at these tacos. Is that my taco truck?
Yep.
Nice. Thanks for making me tacos. Would you rather have tacos or a haircut?
I'll be honest.
Will you get a haircut?
Yeah. The many tiny air sacs of the lungs which allow rapid gas exchange.
Go to HelloFresh.com and use the promo code SMARTER80 and get $80 off. It's good stuff. Bye. If your mom doesn't love laminar flow, your mom is wrong. There's only one thing left to do. The taste test. It's laminar flow.
Here, I'll go back to this. We've watched it before, but I don't know if you were here.
Yeah, laminar flow is better. Complex this problem is. Every single angle is good.
We're going to go into our air shower, and we stay here for 1 minute, and it's a laminar flow.
You have no idea how much. You have no idea how much I like laminar flow. You don't even know. I can't even explain it to you.
And you really love it.
I do. So.
For 39 years, and I was just.
No, you're getting.
One of you. We have like this door is open. Side.
Okay, this is where he's going into NASA or Johnson Space Center. And
And so you're putting booties on that have not been exposed to dirt or anything. So now you're in a clean area.
Cleaner.
So as we go back, yes.
It gets progressively more clean?
Exactly.
I see. Okay.
And the rooms are pressurized so that the clean.
yeah, and I kept telling him. And you know the fucked up thing, Obs, is that I went. I used to go doctor shopping, right? I'm not proud of it. I used to go to hospitals all over, and anywhere from here and then a few hour radius, and I got labeled eventually at all of these hospitals as doctor shopping. But it had been almost a decade. It was like 8 years. And the doctor straight up asked me when I went to the hospital, she goes, how come you would come to this hospital multiple times and years ago and then you just stopped for 7 or 8 years? And I said, well, to be honest, Doc, I said I was an addict at the time, and I was just trying to get painkillers. I was doctor shopping. And she gave me this look like I was a dirty, nasty piece of scum. And she refused to fucking treat me. But I was the nurse had gone and gotten ready a shot of fentanyl and a couple other things. And he came back and he said, sorry it took so long. The doctor changed your order. And also she's refusing to treat you. You know, like she made him tell me that instead of her tell me that. Fucking pussy. That pissed me off so bad. And not that I cared about the painkiller script being lower, because I told him, I was like, I mean, you can try if you want, but nothing's gonna happen. Not only because my tolerance, I don't think I'll ever have a tolerance low enough, even if I got off the methadone. I don't think I'd ever have a tolerance low enough that 5 milligrams of morphine, I'd even notice it. But, and he was like, I'm really, really sorry. I was like, dude, you do not have to apologize. You've been nothing but extremely nice to me. He was this nurse, and he had, like, these really long dreads, and he was, like, this super laid-back, really sweet guy. And he fucking was, like, all apologizing for her being a cunt. And I was like, bro, you have got nothing to apologize for. You've been nothing but cool. And the next doctor that came in is like, holy shit, this really doesn't sound good. I'm going to go ahead and call the surgeon. Except they didn't tell me that. He said he'd be right back. But then the next thing I know, there's a surgeon in my room. And I forgot his name. He's like, I'm Dr. Whatever. I'm the surgeon. I'm like, surgeon? And he's like, yeah, hold on. And he poked me around a few places. He's like, none of that hurts? And I said, no, I barely even felt it. And then he's like, okay, hold on. And then he poked me in this one spot. And it literally said in his notes that I about jumped out of my skin. But it was my gallbladder, and he said, well, you can, I was like, are you sure it's necessary? And he said, well, you can wait till tomorrow, but I wouldn't recommend it. And I said, okay, do it today then. And he had 2 gallbladder surgeries before me. And mine took twice as long, more than twice as long as the other one. And not twice as long, I don't know about that, but mine took longer than both of the other ones put together. That's what I was trying to say.
Huge hug.
Please make a monthly donation.
And he said it was so distended, it's a good thing I didn't wait till the next day, because it could have exploded.
Microwave done?
So watch your step down.
I'm watching it. Boom.
And
Bam. Wow. Alright.
then the next day after the surgery, I came back to the hospital because, like, it sounds pathetic, but I was really not able to do anything except roll around in my bed and moan in pain. And I was in so much pain, it was ridiculous. And I went back to the hospital, and I had a different doctor, and she said, I know that I have drug seeker in my notes because of that one cunt. And she said, did he give you painkillers? And I said, yeah. And she said, what'd he give you? And I said, he gave me 3 15-milligram morphines. And she flipped out like that was a shitload of morphine or something. She goes, why did he give you that much? And I said, I gave her the whole rundown. I said, well, because I'm a recovering addict, I have a very high tolerance. And I just was fucked up by that surgery, so that's what I was like, and he only gave me 3 of them. She goes, did you take them? I said no, and she yelled at me. She goes, go back and take them, and basically saying, leave me alone. And I did, and about 8, maybe 6 to 8 hours later, I started throwing up blood and went back to the hospital, and there was a different doctor that saw me, and they immediately put me under anesthesia and scoped me, and I had a bleeding ulcer in my duodenum, which is at the site of the surgery that I had. So it was fucking obvious what I had. They just didn't give a fuck because they thought I was a drug-seeking junkie. And I mean, I should have, a lot of people tell me I should have sued them, but I don't know. And when I had my checkup appointment, and told my doctor what happened, he had student doctors with me, and before I could even get the story finished, he was so red-faced. Like, when he found out that they operated on me without telling him, less than 48 hours after his surgery, he got heated. He was angry. Like, I get the feeling they don't communicate well at that hospital. Like, he wanted me to stop talking even though I had a lot more to say because he had students with him. And I could tell he was about to lose his cool. So it's fucked up that some doctors will just see you as a label as drug seeker and not give you any kind of attention or help. Even though I explained to them I've been clean for over 4 years, because at the time it was only over 4 years. Now it's over 5, or it was almost 4 years, I mean.
And all the samples are actually still stored in nitrogen caddies, also by mission. Also by mission, just like that.
What is this?
Apollo 11, the first mission.
This is Apollo 11?
The first mission. These are the samples. All the samples that were brought up from the Apollo 11 mission.
Is it still awesome for you?
It's awesome, yes.
But a lot of the nurses were super cool. They were like really congratulatory. And
Yes, starting with Apollo 11 over in the corner.
Yeah.
That's Apollo 12. These 14, 15, 16, and 17.
That's crazy. So why don't we have it in multiple locations? Like, why aren't half of them in a mountain in Colorado?
There is another remote facility that we have just in case Johnson Space Center was destroyed. We have 50% of the sample stored in a remote location for storage.
Somewhere else is all
I said this last time, but I feel like if aliens came back and saw this, they would be super proud of us.
Seal on there, which means that we have inventory every sample in those caddies, and we know our database has every sample, every container number, every sample weight, and sample description in there for everything that's in.
Wow, that's crazy. So do you have a photographic index of all these?
Yes, we do.
You do?
Yes.
Wow. And so that's how you go through and select what you want. You know the composition?
Yes. We have a description of everything. All the rocks were described. This is an open tray because there's no seal on it.
I see. Is that heavy?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Building your online business? Go to Wix.com and set up your store.
You guys still there, or is chat frozen?
And there are Apollo 15 samples.
That's an actual rock right there?
Yes, it is.
It says I have 2 viewers.
499.
Oh, there you are.
So that you know it's been broken at least 179.
So it was a much bigger rock when you first got it?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's for damn
Pretty
sure.
interesting. So how, is it a big deal when you get to chip a big rock?
Yes, it is. And
I'm lucky before my surgery, even though I'm on blocker for opiates,
that's awesome. When they brought them off the moon, did they have them in nitrogen or anything on the way back?
Having a high tolerance is just as bad.
Oh, I see.
Like, people don't believe me when I say I did 30 milligrams of fentanyl in a day. Or wait, was it 3? Let me look it up. I think it might have been 3 milligrams, not 30.
To be closed on the moon in vacuum and remain a vacuum, and for Apollo 11 and 12, they were open in vacuum.
No way. In my head, it's like they got inside the ascent module and just like threw rocks on the floor. I know that's not how it happened, but in my head, you know, it's like the pickup truck and it's the third.
Some were sealed in vacuum boxes on the surface of the moon, and they weren't open until they were open here.
I don't know why I've never thought about this, but you can't just pick up a rock on the moon, throw it in the lander, and bring it back to Earth. Because by the time you get in the lander, the oxygenated environment in the lander is going to change the chemical composition of the rock as it oxidizes, right? So how do you get a rock back to Earth without Earth in the atmosphere contaminating it? The answer is a super fancy box. They could put it in there, in bags of course, and then they could seal it up and get it all the way back to Earth in a vacuum, so it could still be studied today with the same chemical composition as it had on the moon.
You know that a lot of scientists from a number of countries stand by to see the lunar samples, and we thought you'd be interested in seeing that they really are here. These two boxes are the sample return containers. They're vacuum-packed containers that were closed in a vacuum on the lunar surface, sealed, and then brought inside the lab and put inside these fiberglass bags, zippered and resealed around the outside, and placed in these receptacles in the side of the command module.
I found a really cool report from NASA that explained how they processed the moon rocks from Apollo 11 and 12 in a vacuum. Turns out this was an incredibly difficult ordeal to figure out. According to this report, they had to basically make a reverse spacesuit, the arms and everything. They developed special storage containers, tweezers, all kinds of things. But in the end, the report said that it made more sense to process the lunar material under atmospheric pressure using
Holy
dry
shit.
nitrogen.
We had vacuum blood box.
That can't be right.
You know, if we got any kind of leak, we got stuff from outside, inside. And if you notice, these are all positive pressure components. It keeps the box clean.
We went back to the lab and I got to witness Charisse in the process of preparing a large moon rock for a scientist. The team explained to me how they got their tools into the glove box without contaminating the samples. Everything that enters the presence of the moon rocks has to be cleaned via a special procedure. Think about it. Tools, nameplates, bags. If any of these items are dirty, they can become a source of contamination. If it goes into that cabinet with the rocks, it better be clean. Every tool, every nameplate, everything that's used to process the rocks is cleaned to an insane specification, and then it's triple bagged. These bags are then removed in succession as the tools get closer and closer to the moon rocks to avoid contamination at every step. For example, here you can see me putting on a second set of gloves just to touch the second bag before placing this chipping bowl into the airlock. So, I'm just going to turn this up. What flow rate do you want?
Just go to 100. 100 is good. And go purge for 5 minutes.
5-minute purge. And so that's purging the airlock, which is there, which is where I put the tools.
Exactly.
And you're going to reach in and get the tools, or she's going to do that.
She's going to do it when she comes in. She's going to turn the airlock off.
Okay.
The flow, and then she's going to reach in and pull in the tube.
What are these I'm looking at?
Data packs, which is the history of every.
I didn't even know they made them that small. That must be new. 12 and 25? No, they've made 25s.
And the first thing I told you we had to do was
But not 12.
is within tolerance.
That's gotta be
so
new.
I did this back in 1885.
Did you really? You're not that old.
I know.
I know.
Somebody forged it. Did that. And this is the first thing you do.
Okay.
You take a picture of the rock from the whatever side you. This is the bottom face.
These are what I remember I heard. These are the jokes.
That's why you want the saw to go right there, and it's going to come out right there.
What kind of saw do you use?
Bend saw. It's an old hole-board meat cutter that was modified. So it has a diamond edge blade so that no oils and lubricants are used. because that will contaminate the surface of the sample. So we'll show it to you. It's right over
Can't
there.
read it.
Yeah.
So you saw it?
Yes. And as you're sewing, every time a piece break off, you have to stop and take a picture. Now, 15459, 0 is the parent.
Okay.
0 is the parent of every rock. But every time a piece break off, you take a picture and give it a number.
Wow.
Because as you're going through, see how those pieces are breaking?
Oh, so right here, so you got the little
You got
pieces.
a whole bunch of pieces breaking off. You got to put it back together.
Oh my goodness.
It's like a puzzle.
And then you also have to figure out
You have to know every number for it.
Really?
Absolutely. Because see, if you got this little white piece of that number 254.
Right.
Yeah, it is 10
Do
milligrams.
studies of the same thing, and somebody has used it up. You could actually come and find the other part that's on 252.
Because they, see this, they come out, it's 72 hours, so it really only needs 7.2 milligrams, but if you sweat more, it gets it out. So to make sure it lasts 3 days, they put a little bit extra. We used to get the ones that were 10 milligrams.
Just a second to think about how complex.
And I ate 3 of them in one
Every single
day.
angle is photographed. Some parts even down to the microscope.
Ooh. I don't think anybody would be able to steal the moon rocks, but that'd be fucked up if they did. I always kind of wished when they were done with them and getting rid of them, like they might sell bags of moon dust, but like I said, it could be dangerous. That shit caused an anaphylactic reaction in an astronaut, so it's probably best they keep that shit out of the way and safe. I'm hungry. I don't get hungry very often. Six hours ago.
It's Hy-Vee's super.
Let's watch this.
Get 7 products at a super price for 7 hours.
They're really rewarding on like a creative level. Yeah, so to set the scene a little bit here, this is pre-shredder. We were living in Woodland Hills. This is the first nice apartment we ever got. It was like $4,000 a month, I remember. Me and Hila, we couldn't really afford it, but we're like, fuck it.
I don't know when Duff's coming on, but I'll probably stop when he comes on.
A small house on a hill with a decent view. The inside was nice though. And I don't know if it was
Hey Jen,
my first collab with
thanks for stopping by.
or what, but this video was awesome, man. We really made good videos together. I was surprised actually. I didn't know what to expect when we made videos with him. Who is it?
I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna go grab a snack.
Oh, hey dude, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, listen, there's a problem with the front door. This is actually the garage door because our front door was see-through, so little fun fact for you. Doesn't open, you have to go around. There's a door on the back. Can you go around the house? Yeah, no, it's really neat. It's very accessible. Ian, we're over here. Yeah. This was awesome, like, and this is where Ian came in. Ian's a psycho, or he'll like do anything. He's got the craziest ideas. And what I thought was so cool about this video is how like it was, before we even sat down to watch the video, it was already so great. The premise and how it all worked out was super funny. Yeah, Ian and Anissa are coming up this Friday.
Okay, well, how am I going to get up there?
I've got a fire escape ladder. So I don't know what to tell you. Everybody comes up this way since our door broke.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
What, did you just come from a bar mitzvah? What's with the suit?
No, I just thought, I don't know, you're circled in the grassy area. I figured that I'd dress up, maybe we'd film a normal video.
don't have to do any goofs or gags, but, you know, obviously, it seems like you're playing one on me. Are you here to sell me life insurance, or are we here to make a comedy video? I don't understand. Listen, I got a really good deal on the suit. I want to wear it in vid. I figured this would be a good time. Hey, aren't you the dude who made me climb down a drain? Okay, so it's not the first one. So, okay, I get it. It's the ongoing thread of torturing each other. I don't remember whose idea it was, honestly. These were very collaborative. It's a shame my front door doesn't work. It broke when you opened that manhole and making me climb in it.
You didn't say anything about crawling down a bucket.
And then my front door stopped working.
Oh, okay. So
At
that's
the same amount of time.
That's cute. That's real cute.
Hold on, right there. Let me throw the ladder down to you. Wait. Wait there, okay?
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Oh God, you can't say that anymore. That's crazy. We're prepared, you know, we're a house that likes to be prepared, so oh wow.
Yeah, just give it a drop, dude.
This was super sketchy, by the way. It looked really dangerous, but Ian, like I said, Ian's a psycho, he'll do anything.
It'd be nice if we got a solid ladder that didn't swing. Okay. Well, yeah, but there's no more rungs to hold on to. Sorry about that front door, dude. Oh, yeah.
Did you just get back from Baked America, and did you do a job interview to be a teller there, or not?
How am I going to get out of the house is my curiosity.
The front door.
It
Purple and black. You're going door to door trying to sell knives, for example. It's not the most becoming color.
Can we just get into the filming already?
I think this was our first. Okay, I remember. This was our first like reaction video we did together, and we were talking, and we were both like, "Dude, this Logan Paul video is so fucking bad. It's so cringy and bad." And it was like blowing up. It was like #1 on trending, and everyone was talking about it. And then we were like, "Well, let's actually do a video together." And so we had this idea to do it together. Worked out great. Selling knives. No, but we are here for some business. There is this video about this guy seeing colors for the first time. It's funny to think just how deep Logan Paul's fucking resentment of me goes back. This is 6 years ago. I'm pretty much non-stop since then. He blocked me recently on Twitter, by the way. Logan Paul was not unknown. He was like blowing up. This video, or I think this is the first.
Alright, sorry.
It had like 50 million views. So.
It was a long time to get a bowl of cereal.
Come to TurboTax
and
do your taxes.
Kind of. You're not allowed to wholesale upload their videos.
So you can do not taxes. TurboTax, 100% expert guaranteed.
Why can't people keep their hands out of a bag of Harvest Snaps? Maybe because they're uniquely crunchified and irresistibly tastastic. Or maybe
Told you I was going up to get a snack.
number one ingredient. You hear that little piece? You're number one. Harvest Snaps are gluten-free, non-GMO, with just the good stuff baked right
Oh,
in.
man.
So reach in.
My bad, guys.
I became very emotional after watching it. You know, I didn't actually watch it at all. I went on Saturday, and I was
My bad. Sorry, I'm sorry.
He was getting like 230,000 subs in a day. It was nuts. But I was like, who the fuck is watching this shit? And then being like, I want more of it. It was so stupid, you know. But back then, that was like really, really the crazy times of YouTube.
It's a couple of these
Primary color being
granola bars. They have 2 things in them. I crush a couple of them up and put them in milk.
Yeah, the only color I see is green.
looks like a Disney Channel movie. Let's watch it.
Yeah, let's check it.
Yo, I hit those notes, bro. Today is a big day. Like, could be one.
Holy shit. Dude, his old vlogs are so fucking embarrassing.
My favorite days of the year. Now, there is one main reason for that.
All you'd have to do is to show them a diagram of red, what is it? Red, blue, green.
You know what I noticed about this shot here? Not to hate on the guy, because he's clearly fit. That doesn't
Oh no, I can't remember right now. I'm spacing out. I'm stoned. The three primary colors. You have those cones. If you are born without one of those clones, or one of those cones, no super scientific space age glasses you wear will change that.
The thing is, he's tricking you, right? With the fluffy pink pants, he's trying to make you think, like, hey, not only am I a jack dude,
you can actually get sustenance from my fucking juicy breast.
Correct.
Hell yeah, Aubrey. That's what's up.
Is it gay that we both want to suck each one of his tits?
We can fucking run through that shit. Logan, hit us up, dog.
No, the reason is, oh wait, you noticed the pink pajama fluffy pants? Yeah. Not the reason either, but close. Very close.
No, my children, the reason goes much deeper than that.
It seems like he's
so embarrassing. He's living bullshit.
How did we get to this one? I don't remember.
Rom-com always. And his buddy Zach Galifianakis comes over and self-deprecates, but he
always fucks.
He always fucks.
Zach never quite gets it, but he is always fucking. But once he fucked a girl, she broke his heart and he never forgot about it. Even though he fucks hot dudes every day, he never forgot about that one girl. He used to suck the milk right out of his tit.
They used 69 tits.
Can you? Oh, that's interesting.
I wonder if Lesbos do that.
Like, is it physically possible?
No, we're not.
I don't want to do it, but I was just wondering if it's like. I don't think so.
Well,
I still haven't decided if that
think
is physically possible. The 69 tits, because the tit is just
Hell no.
range. I guess it matters. It depends how big the tit is. So I guess it really there's a lot of variables that go into that.
I think he can make it happen.
I was just about to tell you this. I'm colorblind, and inside this box are glasses that will fix my colorblindness. I've lived my whole life like not seeing certain.
That's
colors.
fucking stupid. I hate this.
Yes, it's possible. Okay, well, there it is. Actually, here, let me type. I'm gonna do this off screen. 69. I typed 69 lesbian.
I'm sorry, I'm not watching that one again. I thought they were showing clips from it at first, but I don't know how we got to it. What should we watch? I kind of do want to play a game until Dennis comes on. Maybe I'll play Sonic Frontiers and show you how bad that game is. Till Dennis comes on. I wouldn't be surprised if some birds could pick up UV. I mean, that's probably how they hunt in the night. What's the deal? Oh, come on, man. I'm gonna put it in front of Logitech. Maybe this will help. Why is this not picking it up? Why can't I see it on the game capture? That's kind of infuriating. Damn. I'm fucking tired. I'm sorry guys, I have absolutely no idea what to do. I gotta start making plans and not going all nights without sleep at the same time. But after the moon rocks thing, I don't know what else there is. You guys ever get really fucking angry? Like so angry that you get really tired afterwards? That's the problem I was having with... I mean, I don't blame the card company as much, but... and they were really cool afterwards. But I do blame the phone company that was pissing me off. It's almost like they're doing it on purpose. Look at this opal I got. I don't know if you can see it. And what's the deal? There we go. It's one of my favorite stones. I've got this really cool, super like iron rich meteorite. It's so like iron with all the things, all the molecules like pointing to the one side. It's so fucking strong. If you put a magnetic field to it. This is a turquoise my friend Joel gave me. This is just one of them. This is my favorite one. It's like a super solid piece of turquoise. It's gorgeous. This is a sphalerite that I wrapped. It used to be twice as long, but I broke it. You know, shit happens. But it's still gorgeous. It's a piece of sphalerite that I wrapped. This is a shungite with a... It's not a blood opal. Or a bloodstone. I think that's an opal of some kind. Where's my loop? I don't know where my loop is. It's just a really fucking amazing opal. Oh hell yeah, it's a gorgeous opal. Like to the point where I can't even tell if it's man-made or not. I would hope it's not. It's got some way bigger flakes than normal, but they've gotten pretty good at faking them. It doesn't matter, it's a beautiful stone either way. It used to just be an obsidian. I wish I still had the obsidian, but it used to be an obsidian on top of it, but I put an opal in there instead. It's just a really beautiful piece of shungite. And I'm not talking about the shungite where they put small pieces of this in a weird acrylic diamond and it clears all this magic blah 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 bullshit out. This is, I don't know if you can see the very tip of it has flash. It's a fire agate and it doesn't look like much, but the tip is super green and flashy and it came right off the matrix. You can see how it's all like rocky on this end. But if I turn it around, and point it that way, you can see a little bit of flash and how it's growing into a fire. I don't like always the most beautiful, amazing stones. Sometimes I like the weird specimens that show like halfway in between stones. And then I've got this, I think it's an irradiated quartz because it's all black and it is a quartz, I'm fairly certain. But you can irradiate them and burn the particles inside of them and turn them black. Come on. Alright, we fucking get it. I've got some cool rings. I've got this purple lavender, because I've been obsessed with purple lavenderite for a while. I love purple stones. This ring. This thing spins, and it's two different lavender labradorites. It's one of my favorites. And this blue, oh, this is another purple labradorite. This one is super purple. It's got a lot of sheen. It's hard to see on camera. And then I got this blue moonstone one, and you can see how blue it is even on camera. This is a super blue moonstone. And if you can see, it's surrounded by moons on either side. My friend bought me this as soon as I finish braiding. I think I'll do that now. As soon as I finish braiding the string for it, I'm putting this back on and using it as a necklace. The teardrop right here, that's an opal inside of there. Whether it's man-made or not, it's an opal, and I think that's super fucking cool. You can see the top is a leaf that holds it, and it's like the eye is a berry, but it's got two pupils. Oh, any pink ones? Yeah, let me show you some of my favorite. I've got a really big rose quartz on one of my shelves back there. Alright. Here's a rainbow moonstone that it might not show up in the camera. Oh, it's a kind of. You can see it's got like you can see a lot of really blue flashes and greenish. It's like the color, it's got like all colors in it. It's one of my favorite stones, moonstone. And then this is a blue tiger's eye. It transitions its color all around just like a regular tiger's eye, except it's blue instead of yellow. And I don't have my red tiger's eye or my stone tiger's eye. Oh yeah, there's an iron tiger's eye and red tiger's eye. I have them back on my thing. There's all kinds of, in my regular tiger's eye, there's all kinds of different ones of those. This is a chlorite quartz. It's got stuff stuck in it. It's just a piece of quartz that got that stuff stuck in it when it was growing. This is one of my favorite stones. It's celestite. This is a giant chunk of it. It used to have a bunch of bigger, used to be way bigger, but the chunks would fall off so easily. But this is a giant, solid piece of celestite. It's gorgeous. It's my favorite. It's one of my favorite colors. That's why I love this this blue lace agate. So gorgeous. And it's got holes in it for a necklace in multiple ways too. It's got holes up here, it's got holes down here so you can wear however you want. This is an amethyst. This is kind of pink. It's not the best amethyst, it's just an amethyst. Might be a special kind because of the terminations. I can't remember. This is Petersite, I think. It has all these crazy mad structures and veins going through it, and you can see the bluish green color, or bluish brown color. It's one of the most beautiful stones, and that's like wherever that other stone here it is. This one has like, it's black, but and the polish is pretty much gone because I rubbed it away, but you can see little blue streaks of lightning in it. That's what it looked like when I got absorbed into God's love through her eyes on a DMT trip. So I keep this with me forever to remind me to love and not hate. And this is a regular labradorite that actually has some really beautiful flash in it. And now these are lavender labradorites, and these are the most purple fucking lavender labradorites I've ever seen. They say they're natural, but I've never seen lavender labradorites this purple. And look at that. I don't know how they would have got to do that if it wasn't natural, but I love them. Either way, they're gorgeous. Yeah, I know, right? And for comparison, where's my ring? This is a normal lavender labradorite. Fuck, it's hard to do. Well, you can't see the lavender, but you can see it's the see-through and maybe a little bit of the lavender on camera, but it's never like that lavender. But they swear up and down that they're real. I don't know. I've got tons more rocks. Maybe one day I'll do a rock show. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Oh, you'll BRB? Okay, I'll wait till you get back to wrap it up. wonder where she went. I wonder if it was for something constructive. Where's any of my nuts? I just have two of them. That regular one, and here's one. There's my space pen, what the fuck? I was looking for that everywhere. Where are my small knives? I want the one with the, a scalpel. Hey Jen, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna wait to close out the stream. I'm just waiting to see if you have something to prolong it, but I don't know. Oh, come on. Great, is it like fucking locked? What the hell happened? Oh. It's because of that. Hey Chrome, what's going on? I was just thinking about packing up, but I guess since you're here, I'll try to make it work. Yeah. You mean privately? Yeah. Like I said, I was just about to get off of the stream, so I guess I'll go ahead and get off. Jen, I don't know when you're gonna come back, but I appreciate you coming. So, I'll see you next time.